Dear Congress, my name is Damian Rochester. I come to you today with the intention for you to open up your hearts and also your minds. And most importantly, to strip away this whole notion of Democrats, Republicans, and independents. What we need to do today is to dissolve all of that just so this message can go directly to your hearts and to your mind. There's been way too much divisiveness and polarization in Congress. Now, what's important is that we all effectively, as a people, work together to fix this ongoing problem that exists within our society. One of those issues does involve the brute force of policing in America. Policing in America has been a, a disgusting trail of black people, brown people, Latino people being apprehended in the most heinous ways, whether they're guilty or innocent. Just the behavior of policing, this brute militarization, has caused a lot of, of deaths. And a big part in that is that there hasn't been any accountability. Any accountability. Nothing has been addressed yet from this administration or previous administrations. We know this in fact because since the 1800s, after the Emancipation Proclamation, um, white slave owners at the time were fearful that these newly freed people would have risen up against them in revolt. And so they created a militia, a policing force, which was generally made up of KKK members, only to keep those newly freed people in line. We see that this ideology does persist in our judicial system, in our police system today. So that is a big issue. We carefully and generally speaking want so much to work with the police to be trustful of them and mindful of them and to know that they're there to help us and to sustain us and to protect us, not to fear them. And it doesn't do this nation any good when we fear the very people who are there to sworn to protect us. The other general concern is the economy. We do know today that due to COVID 19, the unemployment rate itself is skyrocketed to 17.2%. In some states, it's 20%. So currently, for unemployment, there's over 38 million people in the US alone without jobs. And the issue with that, I understand that a bill was passed in the House of Representatives called the HEROES Act, which is supposed to give a second stimulus check to Americans who qualify. And now it's making its way to the Senate floor. The issue with that is because of the polarization within Congress itself, this bill itself may not get passed, right? And the other concern, generally speaking, is that $1,200 is not enough to sustain the average American. For a congressperson, it's important for you to have your salary and to be able to pay your mortgage and your utilities and to pay your car payments. These are the same concerns that we, the general public, do have, and we don't have a salary. So $1,200 would not be enough. I understand that Senator Harris and Senator Sanders created a bill or talked about a bill where we would provide the average citizen or the Americans with $2,000 per month. I think this is a lot better. And the reason I believe this is better is because we've been living in a time of globalization for a very long time now. I would say for 2 decades almost. And because of that fact, this is the new normal. Working from home is. And so that $2,000 would be helpful to many Americans who would want to start their businesses at home, and so they can reunite with their family and children at home and work from home. Also to take classes online and to improve their job skills. So this $2,000 would do a great deal of good per month. The other issue is that, I understand that $600 is given per week for unemployment, but unemployment, these unemployment benefits, it's been a nightmare for many Americans, just the process of it alone. Many Americans have filed for unemployment and still haven't seen anything. And so this theory of, well, there's an additional $600, it's theoretical because the practice itself is not put in place yet. So the stimulus check of 2,000 per month would be helpful. It would be very helpful. A necessity is the mother of invention. What you're looking at is the information age transforming itself, where people can work from home and truly make this country great. We call ourselves the United States of America, and on issues like this, where there's a global pandemic and where we consider ourselves the superpower of the globe, we need to fix the issue. A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. And so for us to be united, I'm calling on Congress to strip itself from the ego and to just reflect with human consciousness as to be the representative for the people that they swore to protect, the people who voted for them, to be a true representative of them by understanding their concerns, the critical issues that they're faced with. Your lives are completely different from our lives. You make policies, but the policies that you tend to create, it tends to disenfranchise marginalized groups. And these are the same people who you should be protecting. It's necessary for us to use this time as a general shift of consciousness for our nation. We have to protect our citizens. Every single solitary soul is deserving of love, is deserving of this great ambition, the pursuit of happiness and the American dream. And to strip some people of that only because of their tax bracket, it's not good. It's not good, and it's not making our nation safer. It's not making our nation stronger. It's not making our nation great. People simply need opportunities so they can flourish, and to confine them into an environment where the infrastructure itself doesn't facilitate growth, it's really a reflection on the nation. It's a reflection on the leaders in that nation. Which parent would have children and have some children be treated, as the cream of the crop, and the other children be treated as dirt? I don't see a parent doing that. A parent will treat all children fairly and equally, just so they can have equal opportunities. And that's what's missing in this great nation. This great nation needs to be built on love, or rebuilt on love. It needs to be rebuilt on compassion and forgiveness and brotherly and sisterly love. We consider ourselves a Christian nation, but yet we've been acting completely demonic towards each other. We've been tearing each other down, ripping each other to shreds. Whenever a congressman or a congresswoman is running for office, the campaigning itself, it's to tarnish the opponent's brand. Defamation of character to the nth degree. What message are we sending? This nation isn't built on love. It should be the best man win. And the way of doing that is to really compliment and to really demonstrate who has been doing an excellent job, that they're fitted for the role in order to help this nation evolve. We have so much potential as Americans. This nation has so much potential. But the leaders in office, which has created a divisive mindset, has really trickled down to the entire nation. And from that union standpoint, we are divisive in unity. So we have the ability to work together, to be cohesive in thought, and to improve the general construct of this nation. If we can just build that, and where that comes from, it comes from, again, reflection, congressmen and congresswomen, I urge you to rally in some deep self-reflection and put yourself in the shoe of the very people that you fear. The very people you fear to be like, the very people you fear to be amongst, in actuality, are the people you are representing. So if we can see ourselves in each other, then we can evidently make this world a greater world. And that's just me thinking from a global perspective. But America, which prides itself to be the superpower of the world, can be that shining example. We can do this. I understand that our current administration desires to make America great again. But I've always had a critical concern with that statement in terms of not just when was America not great, but or when was it great? I can't tell. I could never discern that. Because throughout America there has been this progress. It's never been great per se, but what has been great about it, it's the Constitution becoming this ever evolving document for the time that we live in. And so we're not there yet. We're not at that great status yet. To be great, it means that all our people have to shine. To be great, it means that we all have to embody unity, we all have to embody love, and we all have to live from a notion of success. But what does that really look like? Success doesn't look like only for myself, but it's for my community. It's for the people that I surround myself with, or the people I represent. They too have to be successful in order for me to feel success. So I leave you with this, congressman and congresswoman. Cherish this time that we live in as the great equalizer. It's the great reset for us to think about the future, for us to think about how we can build this nation where everyone feels included, where everyone feels as if they are doing their part to make this world a better place, to make this nation a better place. We have the power, we have the ability, we have the technology, we have the skills. The only thing that we're missing is the compassion. Thank you.